All right, guys. Welcome to this live analysis, or rather, a trade breakdown of trades taken this week. Right? Okay. First things first. I would just like to note that before now, I had shared a trade with the community, and that trade was on. The trade was on US oil. All right. So overall, for the longest since the war started, um, I have been advocating for shorts on US oil, right? Because uh, because of reasons why I believe that we should be short. All right. I think my network is not stable enough. If it doesn't load up quickly, we might have to try next time. Excuse me. So I've done my analysis on oil prices, right? So all I was sharing with the community was that these are my views on oil prices. I'm looking at oil prices falling, you know, to a certain level because that is my long-term view on oil. Come in. So that is my long-term view on oil. All right. So we'll just key in US oil and yeah, and pick from the list that we have. The network is very, very, very slow. Okay. So what are we gonna do? We're going to pick oil prices, right? So we're going to pick oil prices and so we're going to pick the oil charts, okay? I'm trying to look for a chart that is best, okay? Futures, let's go with this, all right? Just that there might be a little bit of a mix there when it comes to the actual numbers we are going to be looking for, right? So for oil prices, this was all right. This was one of my views. Okay, oil prices got to $114 per barrel, and I saw reasons to call shots from here as well. And we got to this point, exited the trade. And at this point, the reason for these shots is that since this was a long week, if you go to the weekly chart, you see it more clearly, right? This was a long week in the indecisive candle, and the next after a few weeks of running around, about 3 weeks, we had a decisive one here. Excuse me. I don't feel too well, so sorry about my voice and everything. So the whole idea was that I was expecting oil prices to drop from this point, right? So we had an early entry. I think that was around here. We had an early entry here, and that was before the month end on April. We got stopped out, okay? And after we got stopped out, it was the following week, right? I think we got stopped out on, okay, it was not the following week, okay? We got stopped out on Wednesday, and we had to wait till Friday, okay? So on Friday, I called a sell. I called for shorts on oil prices. Let me see if I can get it. All right, I called for shorts on oil prices on this basis. Okay. Now, this was my reason for calling shorts. We were supposed to drop from here, and obviously, this is a lower high or a zone here, a supply zone around this point, and price dropped down and dropped down again. Okay, so this was an impulsive move, so it went like this. So let's try to see what price was doing. Price went like this. Okay, so is currently below this move. Okay, this build up, this bullish build up. Okay, after it came to this point, it dropped again, and it dropped, it rallied up. There was another build up here, a minor build up. It dropped, a minor build up again. All right, something like this. A minor build up to the upside. It dropped again, and now this was the major build up it had. Okay, to come and take in on-field orders. Okay, listen carefully now. To fill in, to take on-field orders from the chunk of orders that the banks had left here. Okay, so when price was around this point, we took a short. We got stopped out because obviously our stop losses were a little above here. We're not trying to risk too much. We got stopped out. That was on Wednesday, 29th of April. So we had to wait until Friday. As at Friday, I got lower time frame confirmations here. I took the shots to this point. My overall target was around here, right? At this demand. So I took shots around here. We rallied, and covered losses, covered the risk on this trade. So we're risk free. So it came back up. It didn't take us out of our position, and we managed to get to our target and hit our target, right? Then that happened on Friday. Okay, that happened on Friday. Everything like this happened. I think this was Okay, this was on Thursday. Yeah, it was on Thursday we took this trade, right? I called the trade from here that was supposed to get to here, and price rallied up. And on Friday morning, I think in the New York Open or something like that. But on Friday though, we had this huge drop that gave us what we needed. So when this drop was about happening, I called also another setup. I think I called it from here. I called another trade from here on oil prices while this one was still running, and this trade on lower time frame got stopped out. So we had to wait. And when this drop happened, this was a clear confirmation that we're going to expect lower prices on the oil the next week. So I had told them that we should wait for prices to trade around these levels. Okay, if it was the better charts, it was the better chart that I normally use. This should be around 107. Okay, I told them that we should wait for prices to trade above, because price was here. We should wait for prices to trade above 105, which was around here, to 106.5 or 107. But when price got here, I waited, got my confirmations, and we took the trade. Overall target was to get to this point, 79, which this trade is still running. At this point, today, I think, 7th of May, I called another opportunity around here. We dropped a little bit before, stop losses. We didn't hit a loss actually, because we covered the risk on this trade, took 50% as 2-1. And then we had this huge stuff here. So basically, we had entries around this point, stop losses little above. I think we had losses, stop losses a bit lower than that value, but then we're projecting this downside around the, yeah. I think we had lower prices. I just think we had lower prices, right? Something like this, I think so. So currently this trade is running good. Okay. So the next opportunity that I gave out was on a Sunday. Okay. On a Sunday, we had Bitcoin. So let's look at Bitcoin. We had Bitcoin. Okay. Which are we gonna use? Okay, let's go with Binance. So on Bitcoin, I'm just looking at my phone to know where we called the first trade of the week. So mind you, we're waiting for the oil for what they call it, market open, which happens on Sunday. On Sunday, it opens on Sunday. Sydney session, Tokyo Sydney session. So at around 79 or 78, let me try and get it. So around this point, I was expecting a drop on Bitcoin, right? So obviously that didn't happen. Now, what are the reasons why I was expecting shorts on Bitcoin? Okay. This video is strictly for the reasons that I sent out the trades that I sent to my community this week. Okay. So I did a video and I posted on YouTube, and I said that from this point, okay, Bitcoin was in a consolidation. It was in a range around this point. And I told the community one thing, that it won't take long before Bitcoin either does something like this, breaks below, or it breaks above, right? Now, either it breaks below or breaks above, okay? So upon seeing this break, and I told them that if we're going to break above, we should get to 90K easy, all right? $90,000 easy. And I also mentioned that this was going to form, I think, as a resistance for price going up. So, which is one of the reasons why I was applying shorts around 78. So those shorts failed. Okay, we took losses on those shorts. But one thing I assure you is that taking losses while trading is nothing new. The best thing is that how good are your ideas? What are the quality of your ideas? Are you able to generate very, very good ideas? So scaling down, let's look at the daily. Let's look at the daily. All right. Excuse me, sorry. So what are the reasons why I was expecting shorts? Okay. One reason was this. Okay, this level at first, 79, this 79 to 70 to this 79 level was acting as a resistance to price. It was acting as a supply here. So around this point, I was expecting that this zone or resistance will hold prices down. Okay, so that didn't happen. We got a break and push above here. When price traded around this point also, I had views that the momentum, okay, the momentum at which these buys are happening are not strong enough. You know, looking at the way price dropped down, and obviously looking at the way price has been from the end of Q4 25 to the start of Q1 26, okay? And now we're in Q2 26, okay? So the second quarter of the year, and we have 1 month to round it up. So these huge institutional drops happened, and also it started ranging, all right? Bitcoin started moving upside down for days, for weeks, for months. I think how many months? From February 5th to April. So basically, Bitcoin was ranging for 2 months. Now, when it finally got to this point, it had a huge break, okay, and then it moved to the upside. Now, upon seeing this, I said, okay, since there was a zone here, but prior to this, I had views that Bitcoin would rally all the way up to 90 at least, okay, which was around this supply. I was expecting to have short positions around this supply, okay, which my views on Bitcoin overall, I'm overly short on Bitcoin. I don't think Bitcoin would do much good this year because it doesn't have enough momentum or institutional hands that are going to come to move prices up. Okay, those are my views. So it rallied up to this point. We tried to get in on the trade for shorts, moving downwards to around 66. It didn't happen. Now I'm still viewing shorts. All right, my views are still short. Okay, long term. I'm short long term, right? So if we get here 90, we might pull down. But if we don't get there, and this serves as the point where price decides to turn around, okay, then we try to turn around with price. Okay, there's nothing much we can do. We're just here to project possible moves that would give us the best out of our experience and all of that. So what's next? No. Okay. So at this point, okay, at this point as well, seeing that Bitcoin was rejecting to this point, I took lower time frame trades around here, hoping that it would get to this point, all right, on a short term view, okay. And I noticed that this demand zone will be a problem. So immediately price got here, I reduced the risk, took 50% as usual. This was around 2 to 1. Because my entries was around 80 or thereabouts. Okay, around 80 or thereabout, because I caught it early before it started dropping. So when we got to this point, this demand pushed price up, and we got stopped out. All right. So at this point again, I saw reasons to short. Okay, because the momentum was not given that price will continue to move upwards. So here I tried to short, and this was a massive loss. Okay, I took the loss here. So getting here, price rejected, and I saw that this close was weak, showing that prices are returning back. So all I did was price was here as at this morning. So I waited for price to get here. I marked out a particular level around 81,574, and I took shots. I called shots around here, and right now we're here. So estimated time for this trade could be a week or so. So I took my shots around here, and obviously my stops were little above this point. All right. So my overall view was that price was going to come down to at least, yeah, price was going to come down to at least here. Overall view 66 as well. Okay. Overall view 66 as well. So that is another trade that I sent out. So I think I had other setups that I shared. Okay, I shared euro dollar, and I shared pound against the dollar. I shared yeah, both of those trades I shared as well. So let's look at euro dollar. Let's look at the euro dollar. All right, the euro dollar. Let's use IC market, right, and view prices. So for the euro dollar, obviously, my views on the euro dollar is that earlier this year I was bullish on the euro dollar. Okay, I was very much bullish on the euro dollar for reasons best known to me. So after much thought, I viewed prices and saw that the dollar was stuck, and as well any pairs or any instruments tied to the dollar would be stuck as well. So currently, the euro dollar is on a range and is at a supply zone. This supply zone is no longer having the strength to push prices down, but also we could see lower prices, but then it's also seeming like prices are stuck also in between this range. They are also stuck in another tiny range. Now, my views on the euro dollar from this perspective is that we're going to be short, you know, and if you know how to trade a market that is uh, having equal buyers and sellers at the same time, which is on a range, you know that when it comes to the support, you buy at the support, I called buys around here as well. When it comes to a resistance, you sell at a resistance. I call shorts I think I call shorts as well from here all the way down. Okay. Now, these previous trades I had shared with the community, previous views on what I expect price to do next, which of course I don't see all this from a very primitive perspective. Okay, I have knowledge of how best to approach the market, and that is what I basically do. So at this point, I called the shots. At this point, I was supposed to call shots. Okay, so these shots, it happened on Friday. There was a huge sell-off as a result of Powell speaking, you know, his last time being at the Federal Reserve and all of that. So that got reactions from traders, and traders felt that prices were going to go down, which they did with huge drops. All right. So these prices were going up as a Friday morning. So towards the evening hours, around 7 p.m. US Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Price got here, Powell spoke, and during the speech, we saw huge prices down here, huge rejections, right? So my views was that I was going to wait for prices around this level, and I think a bit higher, right? So when prices came up here and was going down, I didn't pay attention to it because I said prices have to get here for them to be valid to drop, because we're looking at views to short to all the way to the downside. Okay. So since what I was looking out for to happen that will give me conviction, it didn't happen. So I, relaxed my mind on that trade. And when prices, we literally did nothing. All right. Monday and Tuesday, we just waited and waited. All right. Okay, it was on Monday. Okay, we waited on Monday, nothing happened. And Tuesday morning, I saw reasons why I should call in for buys. Price is sitting at a demand, got pushed up by this demand zone, showing that buyers were in. At this demand zone, buyers were in. There was also a tiny bit of a demand zone right here at this point. So that was why I saw, and I said, okay, the banks would like to buy the index from here, considering that this currently what we are in on is a range. Okay, so price has from here reached the range, the top of the range, the resistance came down to the support, pushed up, not much big deal, came down again, support, pushed up, came down again, pushed up, came down again, reacting. Now it's reacting to lower zones, okay, lower zones of resistance around. There were demands, probably sell orders and all of that. So when it came here, there were sell orders, right? There were sell orders around this point, okay? These sell orders didn't happen, but my views here was still to be short. Let's not forget that. So when price got here, there were shorts, but at this point, this trade, because I call this trade both, I called buys both on the dollar index and the pound. Okay, the euro dollar and the pound dollar. I called longs from this point, and the pound dollar as well, same thing, because they move alike. They move kind of same direction because they are paired to the dollar index. Excuse me. So when prices got to this point, I was with this rejection, hoping to shop from here. It didn't happen, and we got stopped out. Very little risk. Upon seeing prices around this level again, I said, okay, prices are not strong enough to keep pushing up. My views are still short. Objectivity. I maintained objectivity even after taking the loss. Okay. because I know that for sure my system allows me generate very good amount of quality ideas. So I don't panic when in loss. I don't act irrationally. I just do everything with process, okay? Maintaining my objective, and my objective was to remain short. When I got confirmations, lower time frame confirmations around this point, you know, even though I missed this trade, but I knew that it was going to drop, okay? I couldn't just take it at the moment. So now I'm expecting that prices will break below these levels, okay? But if we don't see prices break below these levels, we might see something like this come up, then come here and also come down, or break above and keep going up. So those are my views on why I call the shorts the buys, then the shorts, and all of that. So let's look at the pound against the dollar. So in between the days where we had exhausted our ideas, okay, we exhausted them pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie. So we had 4 ideas and we exhausted those ideas. So on the pound dollar, price was trading around this point. No. On the pound dollar, price was trading around. So on the pound dollar, price was trading around this point. Okay. Right. Am I correct? All right. Price was trading around somewhere here. Okay. Now, let me just give an overview of the reasons why I was overly my idea was to be overly short on the pound. Okay. Knowing that the pound is also in a range, stock in a range, as well as the dollar index, we can notice a pattern, right? Now, looking at this, we can see something very important here. This is the pattern, okay? This is the pattern. Whenever price rallies up to a certain point, to a supply zone, it drops, okay? And same thing now is happening, okay? Now, we could also drop lower, okay? In coming years. We could. But this is another pattern that we are seeing, right? Now, see, look at this. From this lows of 2022, we saw prices rallied up, okay? They rallied up, got to a supply zone here, they dropped, okay? Same pattern. And don't forget that the trend was bearish all the way from the top. So same pattern repeating itself. This happened in course of years, all right? Same pattern here. Prices were trading in this direction. Then they traded in this direction as well. Okay. And when it got to this supply here, okay, it dropped again. All right. Now, this is a pattern, okay? This is a pattern. So in 2024, I was part of the sellers that got in around this point and, trading short movements. And obviously, we got in on this. So I can remember vividly what was happening at that point in time. So this is another pattern. Now, prices are rallying up to this point. And after this rally, it got to a supply zone. It dropped. Came here, this supply currently, it dropped. Same thing here. Now, price can be tricky, but the market is not stupid, okay? The market is always right. It knows what it wants to do and will definitely do it. Now, if we're able to zoom in, okay, let's zoom in and see for ourselves. Don't forget, you're seeing the pattern. Rallied, dropped, rallied, dropped. Now we're having another rally and a drop. And this is a price zone where price is rejecting from, okay, to move to the upside. But let's not forget that we have this huge supply or this huge resistance that is holding price up, looking like price has formed a range and could range for the longest of time, okay? Let's not quickly forget that. So currently, price is stuck in between this range here, down, up, down, up, okay? And now we could move down again. Now, why am I saying this is a pattern? Very, very important. Now, I talked about trading, how to trade the equal buyers and sellers market, okay? At the point of resistance, there were sellers here, they pushed the price down. They got here again. The resistance pushed the price down, got here again. Looked at it was a breakout. I think I remember this one. Yeah, I remember this one vividly, okay? I remember this one vividly. So everybody, or rather the retail traders, very ignorant as they can be, are looking at shorts, and the big banks allow them print this massive candle, all right, to the upside. And most of them thinking that a breakout is about to happen, took buys up until this point, and then unknowingly for them that this was just a trap, forgetting that the resistance is only broken up, can be said to be broken when there is a full decisive break to the upside. Something like this huge candle breaking off to the upside. So when I saw this, with these rejections happening, if you look at the lower time frame, you see on the daily time frame, you see huge rejections to the downside, and I said this was a trap. So my ideas were overly short. Okay, I've always been. Now I know what I'm doing, and of course I've seen this as a point of resistance. So I called shots from around this point, and it dropped all the way down. Simple and straightforward. Now prices got here. There was a stumbling block. We couldn't get to the lower part. We exited uh, entries, trades around here, and now this moved down. At this point, we looked for buy entries because now it's reacting from a demand, buys to the upside, and now we are currently trading within this same resistance zone. Even though it's not here, but then there's a supply around this point that price is reacting to. So obviously, we could see price come from here or down, or move a bit higher to get here or down, or we could see prices as well. When it moves like this, it breaks to the upside and then does something like this. Anything can happen. But never you assume that this is what is going to happen. Have a solid backup to why you believe that it's going to happen. The markets always tells you what they are going to do next. So there's no need basing that you know what they are going to do next, okay? All you can do is only speculate, and that is all that we have to do. So let me see if I can clean up this. Okay, so now we have established our points, okay, for the reasons why I was overly short. Now let's get into the juicy part. Okay, now when price was trading around, was it here? This was April. No, it was not April. I think, was this it? Was this where price was trading from? Oh, here. I think it was on 5th of May, okay? So knowing fully well that we are in a range, all I had to do was, okay, what are we supposed to do next? Don't forget that we're expecting shots from this point, but price didn't get there. Price was almost close, but it didn't get there. Reasons for holding shorts, we already established that. Looking all the way from here, we can see obviously a resistance. Okay, so expecting shorts from here was a valid reason, okay, to do so. So when price got here, it was reacting to this demand as well. So since we didn't get opportunities to sell from here, obviously my idea was that we're going to take this buys to get to this point and eventually take the sells all the way to the downside. Beautiful. So what did I do next? Scale down to the lower time frames. That was I think, when did this happen? On Wednesday as well. Same time with the euro dollar trade. Excuse me. All right. Sorry about that. I'm kind of forcing myself to be here because I'm not feeling too well. I'm supposed to go on a break. Okay, I'm supposed to go on a break, but then I promised I was going to explain the reasons for the trades that were called out for this week. So this is what happened. Okay, price was trading around this point, and I noticed that price was reacting around this level. Okay, it used this level to form a support. So price was being supported at this level, and then I saw rather the buyer stepping in, the institution stepping in little by little, expecting that they will get to here. So our target was around here. So I called the buys around here. Stops were below the support, and we had good moves to the upside, and we hit take profit both on the euro dollar and the pound dollar. Beautiful trade. A 1:2 and a 1:3. Euro dollar 1:2, pound dollar 1:3, or 3-1. Okay, euro dollar 2-1. So when prices got here, obviously this is a resistance. My ideas were to be shorts, as we all know. So I was anticipating shorts, short. This happened while I was not active. And what did I do? I said, okay, I could take shots from here and we'll move down. So we got stopped out when price got here, saw reasons why it's going to drop as well. I missed it, same as the euro dollar. I didn't get in, but I was expecting this drop, maintaining objectivity. Now, this drop I'm expecting to get here, and obviously it should get to this point. And with the momentum, we could see a full scale break to the downside. Okay. And also something else might happen. Price could come here, all right, get to this point. We see buyers step in and move down, but I'm overly short. Okay. This is just giving different views on whatever the market could do, so that we'll not be thinking that okay, it's going to go all the way south and then we get caught up in the whole thing. Making emotional decisions is not one thing. You have to be very objective, and also never panic. Okay, don't act because the whole crowd is acting in a particular way. Don't act because the whole crowd is doing one particular thing and you don't want to miss out, and then you follow the crowd. Okay, following the crowd doesn't get you any good. It just puts you into huge messes. Okay, or huge mess rather. So that is that the euro dollar and the pound dollar trades. So these trades were supposed to be the last trades. Okay, so we had about 3 losses before these trades that hit take profit. Obviously, we managed our risk well, and then we had a trade on gold. Okay, so I am not supposed to review this, but I'm doing this because actually this gold trade is one that we all looked up to have. Okay, I'm trying to get the point. Okay, obviously I have been bullish on the gold commodity, and I'm trying to get where I took that loss. Okay, I took that loss around 4 5. Excuse me, sorry. All right, this okay. I've seen it. I've seen it. So this was where I took the loss. Okay, so obviously prior to this the following week, which was which prior to this new month, I called buys from this point. I think, yeah, I think so. I think so. Yeah, I called buys around here, and then the overall target was that we are going to get to, right? Am I correct? Am I? Am I? No, I don't think so. Okay, I spotted the buys from here. We didn't take it. We missed it because it happened too fast. So we were able to get in on another buys around here. Short. No, I called it, but everyone didn't get it. So when it got here, we called short scalps, in and out, and we're out, and price started dropping. We didn't have any intentions because we were bullish. Our idea was bullish. When price got here as well, it reacted to this demand zone. We had reasons to hop in. We got in from here, and it moved a little bit before, we exited some positions around here, and risk was all covered. So when price was dropping down, expecting that this will also serve to hold price up, called the trade around here. We took a loss. Firstly, we took a loss here. We took another loss because at this point, I was expected this demand to hold. It didn't hold, so we took a loss around here. And when it got to this second demand, we took another trade. Okay, and we hit a loss as well. We had to stop. So I had to clean up every mess that was around to get clarity of what was happening. And one thing I noticed that I think everybody missed was the whole concept of the retail head mentality. So everybody was overly short. Obviously, my views are short, long term, around this point. Okay, I'm expecting gold to drop massively around 2100. Okay, I think I did a video about that. So price did not get here, and price was reacting from here. I didn't know why. So when this drop happened, I expected this demand to hold. It didn't hold, so price bled down all the way. And what did I do? I said, okay, this is looking like a range to me. So what did I do? I came here. Where was price reacting from? Okay. I said, okay, it seems like price is on a range. Okay. I've established what I believe my idea should be, which is to get longs, to get to the supply zone, the proper supply zone where the institutions where the institutions, sorry, where the institutions will be taking trades, and then we get here. So when prices got here, I think yes. So when prices got there, we had a pending order around here and stop losses below here, below the week of this last candle here, okay, which served as our demand. Obviously, price took us out. Okay, it tapped in with this candle, with this candle that formed like a weak rejection or a pimba or something like that. So this candle here, it reacted, moved 2 to 1. I told them to take around 2 to 1 or to keep holding. Okay, obviously, let's say we were holding, expecting our long ideas to pay off. It didn't happen, so we got stopped out. When we got stopped out at this point, I said, okay, it did not breach what we're expecting. So I said, okay, this demand, this support or demand around this point has been violated a little bit. I looked for another demand around here, and price just reacted around this point. Currently, it was on this demand as well. So price reacted here. And when I saw these rejections and I saw some confirmations, lower time frame confirmations, I told them that they could buy and have their stop losses below that indecisive candlestick, because I knew what the institutions were planning to do. And also I have a system that allows me, see what the banks are going to do next, because I follow the banks, the way they trade, and it's the professional thing to do. It's the right thing to do. I don't believe in head mentality. I don't believe in following the crowd. I don't believe in any of that nonsense. Okay, I stick with what I know best, and I do what I do best. So at this point, I told them that 1 a.m. West African time, they should hop in on buys, which they did. At 1 a.m. West African time, we hopped in on buys, stop losses below, and overall target was here. So I think I had something like this. Okay, no, this was not what I used. It was not what I used. I think I used something like this, and I told them that we're expecting buys to get to this point. Okay, so I told them at 1 a.m. West African time we're gonna execute. Waited for 1 a.m. executed around here. Stop losses below here. When we got to here, we had rejections. Price was reacting off here, so price moved down, and then overall we maintained objectivity as well, and overall we are moving to the upside. Okay, no big force about it. So this was a huge side. We're yet to get to our destination. So before this, before I started this session, I noticed that price was dropping. Okay, price was dropping around here. Okay, and I'm going to show you for real. Okay, I'm going to show you for real. I think another pair we looked at was US 30. Okay, the Dow Jones Index. I think that was the last pair we looked at, and we had hit a loss on that. I would look into it. So I think I'll just go to the last message I sent to them. So listen to this. Long call, gold, entry price 4686.816 slash 0.82. Stop level at 4678.573 slash 0.570. Okay, choose target 2-to-1 basic. 2-to-1 saying that you can exit your positions once you're 2, risking 1 to get 2. Okay, once you get at 2, you exit your positions. So I told them 1 a.m. West African time they should take. This is not yet 1 a.m. but I think most of them would have taken this trade. Now let's look at the reasons I had to call this trade out, or the reasons I shared this trade to them. So obviously, you establish that we are supposed to get to 5,010 on gold. Okay, we're yet to do that, and price came up here, and this was my basis. Okay, very simple. This was the reason I told them that we're going to go long around this point. Okay, this is my idea of going long. Now I told them what 1 a.m. was, because obviously price could gap down and all of that. So yet if they followed the instructions, they'll be waiting by now. So what are we going to do? This is now a live execution. Okay, even though during the course of this session I'm not going to execute this trade, because I have to look and get this recording ready before I am out of time. So we're going to try to look at what price has done, if price has fulfilled the criteria that we hope to get in. So at this point, I would be expecting that some of them would have taken this trade already. Some of the smart ones would have taken it. All right. Normally, I don't usually scale down to this point, okay? Because all right, price has given us what we want. Price has given us what we want. So yes, 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 yes. 678.5. Okay, this was the gap down. Okay, so obviously, after this gap down, what are we going to expect? I think price could also visit here. Price could visit lower, and then we have our stop losses below here if it visits lower. But our target two or overall target should be, you know, if they are looking to swing this trade, should be up above there. So if I'm to tell them to take this trade, okay, if I'm to give a live execution on this trade, I will expect prices to come down around this point. Then we get a better entry. Or if we are to follow the momentum that we are seeing, we could get in here, and obviously stop losses would be below here. Okay, not something I would do. Okay, not something I would do. But if let's say you're giving an execution to take this trade at this particular time, because currently there's no momentum. Okay, there's no real momentum for prices to move to the upside. All right, so let's say we're sticking to a 2-to-1. Okay, let's say we're sticking to a 2-to-1. Even though I feel this is too much risk, so around this point should be the exit. Okay, so obviously, seeing this drop now, I can execute my positions around here, giving room for lower, you know, lower risk, and then we're going to have this. Okay, giving room for lower risk. Okay, you see what happened now? Price has tapped in to that zone I told you that it could move down to. So now looking at this, I think we don't have need for this again because price is at this level. So if you are taking the trade around here, you just add another position and then wait for prices to kick in. So obviously, I think I'm going to send them this right now. Okay, I think let me just quickly send them this. You can go in now. Stop saying. All right, so you can see that this is a live execution. So whatever we're doing here, we're having reasons for doing whatever we're doing. Okay, now we're expecting a good momentum around this point. Okay, I still believe the 1 a.m. West African time would happen. That is where I'm expecting huge volatility to come in, buyers to step in more. But let's watch this. Okay, it might move up from here. Let's see. Let's see. Might move up from here. So let's see. We might move up from here. So let's see. I'm just trying to get another picture to send to them. Okay. All right. I think this should do. So obviously, you can see price is getting some momentum to the upside. Currently, the time here is 11:17 p.m. West African time. So in the next couple of minutes, we should get in the good volatility we need, and also price could come down. But obviously, I'm bullish, so I'm expecting price to break above this resistance it formed here. So let's see. So let's look at US 30 for the last uh, idea that we talked about. So let's see the Dow Jones index 30 index. I'm going to end this live session soon. Okay, let's see this. So obviously the Dow Jones for the Dow Jones for the Dow Jones for the Dow Jones. My views are very simple for the Dow Jones, okay? So let me check the battery. I'm down both batteries, okay? For the Dow Jones, my ideas for the Dow Jones is that the all-time highs are going to hold prices down, which was around here. So we got in around here yesterday, I think. So yesterday it didn't happen, prices pushed up, and then I called another entry around this point and told them that they should hop in and hold till the following week. So hopefully, if that happens, our targets, right? So our target was just above. I think I told them 50 something. Trying to check. The emotion 5019. Okay, $50,190. So somewhere around there. So the target was lower. I think the target was around 46 or thereabouts. Ah, shit. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to I have to plug in the system or there or something like that. So obviously around this point should be our overall target. Okay, we entered this trade around this point. No, yeah, somewhere around here. So we're expecting lower prices on US 30. So quickly, let's just go over to gold so that I don't miss the chart I was looking at before now. Come on, load up. So let's just see before we call it a day. So these are the ideas that we shared this week, and hopefully I'll be sending in these videos real soon. I'll be putting them on the channel. What's happening? Okay, I think we're stuck. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for sticking around for the longest. I hope this was able to help you, and stay tuned with our academy to be posted on both my personal YouTube channel and that of the academy. And we hope to see you, stay good, become profitable traders, become professionals and disciplined. Thank you very much and have a great weekend. Bye.